Hello, guys. You're welcome to yet another very powerful session. It's the 26th day of February, and we're gradually coming to the end of the month. I think we barely have just 2 days, 3 days to wrap this up. And I want to say massive thank you for those who've been sending in the questions and those who've been spending time on their data watching these videos. I deliberately left this on the screen today as something I want to start with. The Tony Elumelu Foundation is one foundation that is doing greatly in trying to empower African-based businesses, with not just funding of $5,000, but with a whole lot of other supports as it relates to training, mentorship, coaching, and all of that. This is an opportunity to access funding for your business. And we're putting this together on Sunday, as you can see on the flag, hosting this via Zoom to be able to guide people to access this funding. It is something we have done for ourselves, and we believe we can help a lot of persons to achieve this result. So, Lumelu Foundation did not only fund my business, that is creating all of this content and opportunity for a lot of other persons today, but Tony Elumelu Foundation gave me the validation I needed when I needed it most. So I think there are a lot of people who are today where I was in 2017, when it looks like everything I was doing was not working, when I was beginning to doubt the validity of the business idea that I had, but they came in then and they turned things around for me. So it's always my pleasure to do this every year to support as many people as I can. But this year, the process is a bit longer, and the number of people who are pulling me from different corners are on the increase. So I decided it was good that we do something virtual, that we can help people from within and outside our locality. So that's why I chose to make this the first thing I want to talk about today before I go straight into the agenda of today. This event is just 2 days away. Follow that link. It will take you to an Instagram, a Telegram group where we furnish you with all the information you need to come on the Zoom session. And after this Sunday session, be holding by the hands all through the process, because the process this year is a bit longer and it requires a very detailed guide. It requires a very detailed guide, and that I am available to offer. So that is that. Today we're dealing on a topic that says learn new skills. And I'm tempted to work on other business ideas. What do you advise? This is something that happens to a lot of young people. In my one-on-one coaching session with one of my proteges today, this was also one of the questions that came in, though coined in a totally different way. But we're going to take this opportunity to answer these questions together. You are pulled from different angles with different ideas, and you need to know which of these ideas should I give my time and energy to. So today we're going to guide you through the process. In fact, that was the reason why we wrote this book, The Four Indispensable Steps to Choosing a Profitable Business Idea. It's going to help you take this idea and cross-check them with some things in your life, your skill sets, your SWOT analysis, and all of that, so you know how best to put in your idea and where to focus at every point in time. The other one talks about the step-by-step guides to taking this business to the market. Then beyond that, we understand the place of funding to business. We also wrote a book that will help to deal with the issue of funding. This is accessible here directly. You can get it straight from here, seller.co/funding your business idea. That is that for those in business. But for those who will say, I'm not into business, I just need a job be able to keep myself going, we have you covered. Just simply follow the link as it's showing on your screen. This will bring you to us because this book is going to be released on the first week of March. It's not yet out there. So you can join the waiting list. You know, a lot of activities and information will come out about this book from the 1st of March. You know, so right now we're going to go into the agenda for today. As I work on my products, I learn new skills, which is normal. I'm tempted to work on other business ideas. You know, the first thing I want to tell you, I think is the very first, if not, it said to kill a man with a dream, you give him another one. If you want to kill a man with a dream, you give him another dream. As he keeps working, trying to achieve the two dreams, the possibility of failing in both of them is very high. So to kill a man with a dream, you give him another one. So how does it work? Ideas are seeds, and your mind is the ground on which the ideas are planted. Imagine what happens if you plant a seed on the ground, and as you keep sleeping and thinking about it for planted a pawpaw seed, you're thinking why the pawpaw seed is delaying, and you're beginning to admire mango, and all of a sudden you go back there and pull off the pawpaw tree and you planted the mango tree. You know, you're beginning to think, am I sure I did the right thing? And possibly you come back again. No, not mango tree, you pull it out. That is what happens when you are thinking about so many ideas. The only land you have here is your mind. So you've got to do everything to settle for one idea and drive it. That's the reason why we author the books that we authored. 4 indispensable steps to choosing a profitable business idea. Because the idea doesn't just have to be something you can do, which is what I see playing out here. I'm building myself, I'm building my capacity to develop a business idea that I've settled for. But as I began to learn new skills, I'm tempted to want to build other things. I'm beginning to say, oh, I can do this. It means, why don't I just do this? You know, you don't build businesses because you can. You build businesses because the market is calling for it, or you know that you can create a market for it. You know, because Apple has proven to us that you actually could build products that the market is not asking for and create a curiosity in the market to come for it. You know, so you just want to be sure that this is something that the market will embrace. The market, the customer, is the greatest validation you need before you settle for an idea. The book talks a whole lot about that. I think I want to just flip us back to that book, you know, 4 indispensable steps to choosing a profitable business idea. You know, you want to filter that idea through some steps so that when you settle in on it, you are certain, almost certain, that this idea will succeed. You know, because that's very fundamental. This is no longer that time where you have to do trial and error. The way it works is that God gives you his idea to lift you and help humanity, because ideas are from God. Ideas are from God. But ideas can also come from your flesh. Ideas can also come from the pressure around you. Ideas can also come from a whole lot of other places. But truth is, when God is giving an idea, God is not just giving you an idea for your sake alone, because he created you, he placed in you all of your capacity, your skills, your talent, and he knows what he has created you to do. So he consistently flush or flood your mind with ideas that will tilt you towards what his agenda is for you. But the devil also does something. The devil will sponsor ideas to increase a part of you and ultimately destroy you. You know, so today When we are in a world where people judge what is working by what is paying, you know, I have had to stay put on what I do today, not because this is what is paying me the most. In fact, I have a lot of things I'm doing at the back end that pays me far more than, in fact, sponsors what I do here. But the truth is, this is who I am. This is what I have come to a conclusion with God that He has sent me to do. And it has the capacity to bless me. This work has the capacity to attract all that I need. In fact, part of the reason why I stay put on doing this is because the major thing I get from doing what I'm doing is that credibility, that trust with many people that is being built by reason of what I do now. So sometimes I just cash in on those trusts, that trust, that capacity that I've built with people, that relationship I've built with people, and I place other businesses on top of that. You see it? So never allow what pays the most take you off what pleasures you the most. I was watching the film just now, I just watched a part of a film that says, oh, that is an hobby, that is not a job. Hobby, something you enjoy doing, something you love doing. Job is something that pays. This God's agenda for you is that your hobby can also become your job. It was FD, Feladuro Toye, that said something. He said, when you place hard work on something that is natural to you, you become great in it. But when you place hard work on something that is not natural to you, you become good at it. But the thing is, the world doesn't have a place for good people. The world have a place for great people. It's easier, you are closer to greatness when you place hard work on top of that thing that God has gifted you with, that talent, that innate ability that God has placed in you. Sometimes I tell people, just the way you watch footballers play football, they're having fun and having the best time of their lives, and yet that skill they are putting to play is paying them. That's the same way God places a gift on the inside of every one of us that have the capacity to pleasure us and yet pay us massively. You have to find yours and focus on it and not allow everything that seems like money take you off what you have chosen to focus your life on. A lot has been said on just this one point. I said here that an attempt to kill two birds with one stone could cause you to lose both. That's why I started with that quotation that if you want to kill a man with your dream, you give him another one. If you want to kill a man with your dream, give him another one. If you see a man hammering, aiming at hitting, hunting, and hunter aiming at killing an animal, and you say, sir, please look at this one, look at this one. As he turns to try to shoot, he's going to lose the two. That is what happens when you are running with an idea, and because you're working on this idea, some other things are taking your attention and you shift. I'm not saying that you cannot take advantage of opportunities. Always be able to differentiate a business from an opportunity. There are opportunities that come that requires you to place your money while you face your job, so the money can keep working for you. That's, engaging your money to work for you. There are opportunities that you can invest in while you face your job. But in all of this, how then do I get to really know where to focus in? Then you have to appraise your strength versus the idea. You have to appraise your strength versus the idea. I always tell people, never start your engagement, your business engagement, with an idea you can't do without an external help. Sometimes I see people say they're stranded. They need money, they have an idea, they don't have money to start. Of course, it's very easy to want to believe that, but there is a passion within you There is a gift within you that you can monetize that doesn't really require funding. How did I get into doing what I'm doing now? I answered this question. If money was not the issue, what would you rather? I got that when I read the book, The Assignment by Dr. Mike Murdock. He said, if money was not the issue, what would you rather love to be doing? If every job on earth pays the same salary, if every work you do generate the same amount of wages, what would you rather be doing? If you sit down with yourself and answer that question, you would have settled a lot in your life. When I answered that question, I discovered I would rather be teaching. But in studying and knowing myself further, I began to ask myself, what exactly would you rather want to teach about? I discovered that if I want to teach children, I need to go do a lot on my patience. What about teenagers? Of course, I could cope, but I discovered that it was easier for me to work with adults. It was easier for me to work with adults because action is very important to me. That's why I don't read, I don't study, gain all the knowledge I get, and I start to pour it out the same way. That's it. So when I talk in simple and practical terms. I had an engagement with one of my proteges today, and he said, I'm so impressed that every time your suggestions are practical. That is it, because the primary reason I communicate is that I want people to take action. I'm not one of those that will teach you and fill your head with statistics that you can't do anything with. It's my responsibility to digest those statistics and bring them into practical things that you can do. So immediately you're done watching my video, you know the exact next step to take, because I'm a teacher. I found out that about myself, and I discovered that I can start without any external support. So there is always something you can do without that external support. That comes, then you do it faster. But with yourself, you can start and start to run. That's my greatest advice to people. It amazes me to hear people talk in the 21st century that I don't have a job. So because of that, I do nothing on a daily basis. It amazes me. And sometimes when I talk about this, it looks like I'm talking with no iota of sympathy. I don't say this with any disrespect. I believe that anybody can start anything today. In fact, that was the brain behind the book that we are releasing in March. This book, Get Employed. In fact, I was driven with this so passionately that the very first video I released on YouTube, I was talking about work demystified. In our demystified series, the very first thing I attempted to demystify was the concept of work. With time, energy, and intellect, say, I don't have a job. What happens to volunteerism? What happens to walking yourself into that circle? We talked about that yesterday. It's an abomination for anybody with time, energy, and some level of intellect to say that I don't have a job. You are not truthful to yourself. Then another thing you want to master is the act of delegation. I'm trying to answer two questions in this. This is somebody asking, as I'm building my business, as I'm working on my product, I'm learning new skills, and there's this temptation to want to do or build other products or services. And I understand that this could become a distraction. But someone also asked today, sir, how do you manage multiple tasks? As a business person, you're doing this and you're working, you have your hands spread around so many things. I said, you have to master delegation. You have to master delegation. It's one thing to delegate, it's another thing to trust the persons you have delegated to do the work and come up with expected results. Don't be afraid that people will fail. Don't be afraid that people will fail. Yes, at the beginning, somebody said, if you want anything done very fast, you have to do it yourself. But in reality, how many things can you do yourself? I was having an engagement with somebody recently. I said, as you grow in business, you no longer work. What you do is you are mentally involved on the job. That's why I asked a question on my status recently. When do you close from work? I said the great guys don't actually have closing hours because their work is more mental than physical. As you grow in business, you begin to attend meetings. You are attending meetings and building structures and strategies, coming up with ideas and all of that. And you would have delegated to master and execute the task. So as you grow and you're having businesses pulling you from different angles, you need to learn to delegate. And you must understand that going far requires that you go with people. You can't go far alone. You can go very fast alone, but you can't go too far. That's why the relay race is longer. The relay race is longer because they expect that when you get tired after 100 meters, you pass the baton to the next person. That is how it works. That's how business is. There is a part that is cut out for you. Someone is focused on the other part. You must learn to delegate, and you must understand that when you delegate to people, they may not be as fast as you want. Sometimes going with people will reduce your speed, but that's a great thing to do. You want to decide between speed and effectiveness. What's the essence of running when the ladder is leaning on the wrong wall? What's the essence of running when you cannot finish the journey? Why not work with others and we are certain that we will get to the finish line? So these are my few thoughts concerning this topic and this question. If you're watching this and you're yet to subscribe to our YouTube channel, please go ahead and subscribe. You need to be a part of our success story. Subscribe to our channel, encourage us and share our videos with your community. Share our videos with your community. Get people within your space to subscribe to our YouTube channel, get them to watch our video. And most passionately, we need you to comment on our videos. Comment on our videos. In fact, we prefer comments that tend to challenge our position on the issue. So it gives us more ground to talk and discuss on a deeper level. We learn from you. So thank you very much for spending this time with us. Let's do this again tomorrow. We love you and we remain Osai Tres Omokaro. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please just follow the link and go to our YouTube to go subscribe to our YouTube channel. In March, you may not be seeing so much of us on Facebook, but you're going to see more of what we do on YouTube. So I will appreciate if you can join us back there. So have a lovely night rest. Stay blessed and let's do this again tomorrow. Bye-bye.